All right, so we are live. Today we are going to be walking through the steps. You can come around. Today we're going to be walking through the steps of setting up a brand new BladeRF. This particular model that I have is the BladeRF X40. There's really no point in purchasing or paying the extra money. I think it's over $1,000 for the X125, is it? X125? X125. We are live on site in Stuttgart, Germany, at the hackerspace space. I've got some. Yeah. Yep, exactly. Shackspace.de, which is a great little kind of hacker hangout in Stuttgart, which is cool because they actually don't have one of these in Silicon Valley, do they? I don't think is there one in Silicon Valley? Really? Okay, I take that back. There's not one in San Diego, right?
I don't know that. Let me verify that. That would be
for now, I'm going to say there's none in San Diego until I'm corrected. Do you want to be named in the video? Nope. Okay, we have anonymous number 1 to my left, and we have anonymous number 2 to my right. We're going to be walking through how to set up and install a brand new Nuance BladeRF, and also actually how to set up and configure and run a rogue base station using the BladeRF. One thing to note is that, so you'll see like a little green light there on the BladeRF. I've just plugged it in. It has not been flashed yet with the latest firmware. So we're going to do a firmware upgrade on this BladeRF, and we're going to walk through the setup procedures. Like I said, there are 2 models. There's really no reason to pay for the $1,000 plus, north of $1,000 version. I'm trying to remember the reason. Oh, the X125 actually can handle different temperature conditions, which is really interesting. So there's really, for normal, somebody skating. Yeah. Is that a skateboard?
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
It's so long.
So there's really no reason to pay that much money for it, especially if you're doing what we're going to be doing, which is doing man-in-the-middle attacks through a rogue base station against connected cars. So with that, I am accessing the Linux host via TeamViewer because I like the screen recording software, and they don't have a Linux version. So we're using TeamViewer. I'm going to first walk through just showing you that I've got internet access, which it doesn't seem we do. Hold on one second. We are connected. Maybe they don't allow ping. Maybe they don't let ping through. Let me see. Let's just try and hit new on. Yeah, they just don't let ping through. So this is the Nuance website where you can go and actually purchase a BladeRF. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We'll download the latest firmware to do that. Let's see here. We actually will pull up our web browser. And we're just going to run this command wget and grab the latest firmware from Nuance. And that will grab the latest firmware image. We have, obviously, I believe the BladeRF ships with a USB cable. But so next you're going to use the BladeRF-cli to actually load the firmware. Now, obviously, one of the things that you're going to need to do is make sure that the BladeRF-cli and software is actually installed. And I've actually written down all of the commands to actually perform this operation. So the first thing that we're going to do is install libbladerf and BladeRF-cli. These are the instructions, which I will also post in the article, but we're just going to walk through here and just copy and paste everything. First, you're going to add the repository so you can run the apt-get on the different packages. So we're going to add the PPA. That's going to add the key, so we don't get any funky key errors. I'm just going to go out and update from the sources list file, and we're going to grab that. This is the libbladerf package, which is conveniently made available.
And you didn't have this installed on your computer before?
I did not. So this is a brand new installation. I'm using Linux Mint. A lot of people will, ask why I don't prefer Kali or something. I just, when you run into issues with Kali, like, libraries, conflicting libraries, kernel header files, you run into issues where GNU Radio is installed from package and then you try and install it from source. Your library paths are all screwed up. I always like just building things from scratch from the ground up. So right now I'm just going through and I'm grabbing all of the packages that are required.
And is there a software that you can write a script and just have this automatically?
Yeah, I'll make a shell script, and that way all this stuff can be installed more easily, quickly. That would just // it. So this is one of the things I was talking about. So one of the things that we're going to do next is we're going to install GNU Radio and Osmo SDR. When we do that, you want to really make sure that the GNU Radio package is not installed beforehand, because if you install it from source and you have the package and the source installed, you actually run into conflicting library paths, and it will mess everything up. So just be really sure that you don't have the package installed. To remove the package, you simply just type in apt-get, remove, and then the name of the package. But just make sure that the package isn't installed first. This is the X40 version of the package. So I'll put the 115 up there, the X115 or X125, and for those of you who own that. All right. So we're going to go ahead and move on. First I'm going to load the firmware. This is pretty easy. We should be able to just type BladeRF-cli now, and then -F, and then the name of the image file. Found a BladeRF but could not open due to insufficient permissions. It would help if we were actually, we are root. Let's see what's going on. Let's try that again. Bless you. Oh, there we go. So that's how simple it is to flash the firmware. You're basically running a wget to grab the latest image file, and then you're just running the CLI program to go ahead and grab that image file and actually, and you'll see here, you notice now there are all three lights are lit up, and it's going through its process, getting its thing. And a power cycle is required for this to take effect. Okay, let's see. Now that we've done that. When the write operation completes power cycle of the device, so we can go ahead and unplug this. That will power cycle it. And then we're just going to plug it back in.